Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today I have for you a what's for dinner. So I have 4 delicious meals that I'm just super excited to share with you. So here they are. This is what we'll be having for dinner, and I'll just take you through each. Alright, so this evening for dinner I'm going to be making a super easy chicken and rice in the Instant Pot. I have shared this recipe in a vlog recently, but I wanted to share it here as well, and just show you the whole process. It's super easy. I've got rice that I'm going to rinse, and then I've got 2 big chicken breasts, a lemon, half an onion, 4 cups of chicken broth. It's actually that like better than bouillon paste stuff dissolved in water, garlic, salt and pepper, oil, Creole seasoning. These are things that I'm adding that aren't in the recipe, and in the bay leaves. And I think this. Basically all these seasonings are not in the recipe, but it's what I'm adding anyway. Paprika, Creole seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder, bay leaves. So yeah, I will show you the process. So I'm going to start by setting my Instant Pot to saute and adding some olive oil and then my diced onion and sauteing those for a couple minutes until they start to soften up. Also adding some minced garlic. I just used the like pre-minced kind in the container with the juice. It works fine for me. After my onion and garlic have sauteed for a couple minutes, I'm going to add my cubed chicken and season that with salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, Tony's, Cajun seasoning, and paprika. And then this gets cooked until the chicken is no longer like translucent, and then we will move on to the next step. When the chicken is no longer like pink, I'm going to take it out of the Instant Pot, and then I'm throwing the rice in. I'm going to post the actual recipe with all the measurements in the description. I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly how much rice it was. I think it was just like a cup and 3/4, something like that. So yeah, I'm tossing it in, and then I'm just gonna stir it around and cook it for just a minute to kind of give it some flavor. This wasn't included in the recipe. It's just something I did. A lot of the seasonings that I added also weren't included in the recipe. It's just whatever you prefer. Like, a recipe gives you an idea, and then you can change it from there. So after I've let the rice cook for a minute, I'm adding the chicken back in. I'm going to add my chicken broth and lemon juice. My son was having a hard time. He doesn't nap anymore, so he gets really tired come dinner time. And I can't remember exactly what he was mad about, but I gave him the juiced lemon half, and he ran off happy, so that's great. And yeah, so I threw this all together, and then it was cooked on high pressure. Oh, I can't remember. Oh, and I threw in bay leaves. That also wasn't in the recipe, but I definitely recommend it. But yeah, I think it was like 8 minutes. And there she is, absolutely beautiful. This was so yummy, and I paired it with some roasted green beans. That's Wes's plate, that's my plate. So good. Next up is the like beef and broccoli thing, but I also had a bunch of peppers I needed to use, so it's beef and broccoli and peppers and onions over rice. And I don't have a recipe for this, so I will do my best to describe exactly what I did. But yeah, I'm starting with my peppers, gonna get those all sliced up and ready to go. And then I'm gonna take half of this onion and cut it into slices, as you will see. Pan over like medium-high heat, I'm gonna add some olive oil and then my veggies. So I'm throwing in the onions and the peppers, and I believe I'm also gonna throw in some minced garlic. If I don't here, then I definitely would recommend it. And I also threw in some salt and pepper, because you gotta do it. While my veggies are sauteing, I'm gonna make up my sauce. So I don't have perfect measurements, but I use about like half a cup of light brown sugar. It looks like half a cup, third of a cup, something like that. And then the rest of your bottle of liquid aminos. Just kidding. That's probably like a cup of soy sauce or liquid aminos or coconut aminos. And then I threw in some rice wine vinegar, mirin. It's just a sweet cooking wine, Japanese cooking wine. Ginger paste, The mirin's optional, by the way. You don't have to like go out and get mirin. If you don't have rice wine vinegar, you can use like white wine vinegar or apple cider vinegar. It just adds that tang. And yeah, I'm whisking that all together, giving it a taste, deciding if it needs anything more. And then I threw in some more rice wine vinegar for that tang. And a little bit more mirin for sweetness. You could just throw in a little bit more like brown sugar. And yep, that was good. So my veggies are soft enough at this stage for me to throw in my meat. So I made some space, threw in the meat, seasoned it with salt and pepper. And yeah, I tried not to use too much salt because the liquid aminos are definitely salty. But I can't not salt my layers, so I had to do it anyway. Just breaking up my meat. I'm gonna let that brown up like pretty much fully before I go on to the next step. Oh, I completely forgot. I like to add a little bit of my sauce just to get that flavor really going in the meat and developing. So yeah, I added some sauce. And then at this point, after the meat is pretty much completely browned, there are a couple pink pieces, but it's mostly browned. I'm gonna add a couple cups of frozen broccoli. Just using frozen because that's what I had. Use fresh if you want it, absolutely. And yeah, so I'm seasoning this as well. This is also gonna get sauce, so it might be like a lot of salt to some people. It's not to me. Maybe it should be. But yeah, there goes the rest of the sauce in, and that's just gonna cook together until the meat is finished browning and the broccoli has steamed. Yeah, just super simple. Threw on some sesame seeds just to make it look pretty. You could do like green onion, but there it is. Next is a roast chicken dinner. I actually used Ina Garten's recipe and kind of played on it a little bit, but it was delicious. It was delicious and it was really easy. So I'm gonna start with some carrots and I'm gonna peel them and then cut them into 2-inch pieces. And I'm also gonna take the onion that I had used earlier in the week and I'm going to cut that into like thick wedges, and that's all gonna go in the roasting pan. Yeah, you'll see. think Ina's recipe had potatoes, but I'm a good old Irish girl, so I needed some potatoes. So I just peeled up some potatoes, cut them up, and threw them in the roasting pan as well. Honestly, these potatoes were kind of going, so you might see me being a little picky about them. And like that one that was in the rubbish bowl was just done for. But honestly, like I'll use a potato, even if it has eyes. You can see I'm trying to decide if that one was worthy. As long as it's not green, I'll basically eat it. If it's not green, it's not mushy, it's a good potato. Once all that is in the pan, I'm gonna season it with some olive oil, salt, pepper. Did I use onion powder and garlic powder? Just a lot of pepper. And I think just some rosemary and maybe some Italian seasoning. No, just the rosemary. Okay, yeah. Salt, pepper, Italian seasoning. And then tossed it all together and then made some space for my chicken. Get in there. I tried to season the inside as best as I could. I felt like I was just kind of dropping salt and pepper like straight into the chicken and not really getting it anywhere else. Whatever, it worked out fine. So yeah, I'm seasoning the inside of the chicken, stuffing in a lemon that I halved, and then a whole bunch of thyme, just a big bunch of thyme right in there. You're also supposed to put in a like head of garlic that's been cut in half, but I didn't have that, so I improvised, and you're only supposed to use like 2 tablespoons of butter. I ended up using a full stick of butter that I softened and mixed with minced garlic and rubbed all over the chicken, but I did not capture that. So you'll see, yes, there it is, the garlic butter disaster masterpiece. It came out delicious, and I think it really needed all that butter. There she is, in all her chickeny glory. I'm actually really proud of that chicken. I think it's only the second chicken I've roasted, and she's a beaut. She's a beaut. also made hot honey butter biscuits to go with this as well, but I didn't record that, so I'll save that for another time. So dinner tonight is going to be these sockeye salmon fillets that I'm going to do in the oven. Actually, I should probably preheat the oven. Boop, 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 boop. I can't remember what it's supposed to be. 375? And I kind of make a paste of the garlic and the ginger. And put that on with some butter, lemon, pepper, onion powder. And then I'm going to do some wild rice in the Instant Pot, and right here I have chicken broth instead of water, but I just use this better than bouillon base. And yeah, just gonna throw it all together, and then I have leftover green beans and tomatoes. Just sauteed green beans through in a can of diced tomatoes. I'll show you those in a minute. So I'm starting with my rice in the Instant Pot because the rice still takes like 45 minutes even though it's in the Instant Pot. But it was great, it came out great. So the wild rice, the chicken stock, and I also threw in some bay leaves. And I think that was it. I don't think I threw in anything else. Oh, a little bit of salt. Always a little bit of salt. I love this salmon recipe so much. It is so easy and so yummy. Make sure you spray your foil. So I have these frozen sockeye salmon fillets, like I said. They're fantastic. I take them out, put them on the pan, pat them down with a paper towel. As you will see, we're gonna get there. So then I have this paste that's like a couple tablespoons of minced garlic and a couple tablespoons of ginger paste. And I'm going to divide that between the two salmon fillets I have and just spread it out. And it gives it so much flavor. So much flavor. It's so good. So I'm taking this lemon and I'm going to cut it into slices. Before I throw the lemon on, I need to season with some pepper, and I think that's all I did. Oh, onion powder, because there's a bunch of garlic in the paste, so I don't need garlic powder. I did pepper, onion powder. I did not do salt because I'm going to put butter on it, and the butter is salted, and you don't want to put too much salt on your fish like in the early cooking process. Anyway, the lemon slices go on top, and then I'm gonna put a couple tablespoons of butter on top of that, and then you wrap it up in the foil and you throw it in the oven at 375, 400. I don't know. I just asked Google what temperature I needed to cook salmon at. And it was like 15-20 minutes, and look at it, it's beautiful. So if you have not yet subscribed, please do so. Oh my god, this is hectic at the end, I'm so sorry. Yeah, there it is. Thank you, thanks for watching.